T-Lock. I've been searching for a spiritual awakening. What can I do to do so? What do you got? What should we do? I mean, if people want to wake up spiritually, what's the Swedenborgian advice? Reformation, regeneration, repentance, those kinds of things.
That's a good start.
Okay.
I love or do you want to say something? Yeah. Okay. There is a book that's by Ray and Star Silverman called Rise Above It, and it's just the Ten Commandments made very accessible and applicable to your life, and just that, Swedenborg says that if we take one thing and start working on it in ourselves, in our life, start reflecting about some heavenly ideal and thinking about that in terms of where we are in our lives, and we start making some focus on that, then that's just sort of like enough. That's enough of a catalyst that, like, because the Lord is so present, so wanting to just, bring us all to heaven if he can, that's just like, can start the process of a spiritual awakening. But so in terms of, like, for me, I remember reading that book and just taking, one of the commandments and thinking, how am I living this in? How could I sort of do this more consciously, and how could I not be sabotaging my own process to do this more consciously? And I feel like for me that was something that really created sort of a spiritual awakening. And I want
to alter the question to fit that in. So what has it been for you guys that have been little spiritual awakenings? It doesn't have to be the mountaintop thing, but what has worked? What's something that's worked for you? And I'll go to let you think about that. But to me, the Swedenborg awakening comes through normal stuff, like it comes when I'm doing the dishes, but I'm thinking about I'm doing this for the common good. It feels different, that there is a spiritual feeling in that. It comes when I'm interacting with my own thoughts and feelings, but I'm doing so from this matrix of truth where this one is I'm thinking about this, I'm not thinking about that. I'm the one who chooses which is legit, which is not, from that. Like from these things that I've learned, or I'm looking at something in nature and imagining the symbolism, and then it feels different. Like that starts to feel different. To me, it's all, Swedenborg says, it's not apart from the world, it's in the world. That you have, like, he kept living a normal life, even though he was having I don't have journeys like he does, but it seems like to me that you keep doing similar things, but you do them for a different reason, or you do them, you have a different experience. That's what's worked for me in my little ways. But I mean, I wouldn't say I've had some profound spiritual awakening. That I had this one experience and now I think differently. So in a way, I'm not qualified to answer the question because I don't know how to get there. But those are the things that have felt like little spiritual awakenings to me. So that's what I have to say. Yep.
Yeah, along those lines, I would say that just an attempt to take other people into consideration and not just be wallowing in my own what I want and what I think is the way it should be, is a little tiny step of a spiritual awakening. Like, oh, there's people out there who could be I could be serving, or I could be helping, and maybe I could just try a little love instead of like foaming away with contempt or something like that.
That's advanced.
Yeah, it's very advanced. Yeah.
I can see in theory how that could work.
But I mean, if he's talking, or if T-Lock is talking about some kind of spiritual experiences like Swedenborg had, I don't know. Some people seem to have the gift of spiritual experiences, and some people just don't have that kind of thing going on. But, so it depends how you're defining the term, but
yeah, he doesn't give, as we always say, he spends so much time writing, but doesn't ever lay out, here's how you have a spiritual experience.
Yeah, right.
Even though everything he writes is based on it, he's telling you all his spiritual experience, but he never says, this is how you do it. So yeah, it must not, he must not be thinking that's what's important. So yeah. Jonathan.
I guess my answer would be that I think for me it started with prayer and praying, just praying for some kind of an awakening. praying for a difference in my life. One of the things that came to me out of the result of prayer was the need to change certain things, certain behavior, just bad habits. And so I started working on those. So part of what came to me, things that I had to get out of the way in order to make room for there was something in there now.
Yeah.
For a while, I thought, well, maybe I can't have that kind of experience, or maybe I can't, whatever. But then, no, it's a matter of there's something's blocking. So getting certain behavior, working on not doing certain things seemed to be important. So prayer and not doing, and then eventually also getting into the lofty state that Cara described, where becoming more loving or thinking more about other people, like being useful, those kind of things.
Right.
And to my mind, you can have moments of sort of aha or being lifted up and stuff like that. A lot of it to me is just a daily incremental, just a little change over time where you start to realize, wow, my thoughts are different than they used to be. As you were saying before, you think based on where you are in the spiritual world and realize, oh, I think I have a different view. And, working away in this way.
And I really drift in and out of it. There are times when, particularly the principles that I've picked up in Swedenborg, these are vivid. This stuff works. I can feel the I can feel the reality of it. I can feel this lifting me above negative states. And then I'll just go very external, and I won't even, I know that there is that state, but it's like, I try to get back in, but now I'm just like, well, when the sun comes out, it will. But very much, maybe we go through this miniature form of exinanition, glorification, like Jesus did. Of we're plugged in, we're unplugged.